It was a good effort, though. It was a good effort.
That's good thoughts. How's it going, everybody? This is Holy War 007 with Black Image Entertainment.
Cut down.
That's who you are today.
That's who I am every day.
Okay. So anyway, I got some things that I want to shoot off. First, we're going to start off with movies. We're going to do with movie entertainment. So I was wondering if you've seen any new movies recently, just out of the blue.
Wow, you jumping right into that. Yeah, you just jumping right in.
Yeah, might as well talk about some movies because games will come later.
Yeah, well, you know that this is gonna be a long video. It's gonna be
Doesn't have to be.
I saw the T.H.U.G. I saw the T.H.U.G.
The one that's with the little girl.
Yeah.
That was rude.
That was rude. She was rude.
No, rude in Hunger Games.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
I don't even think I finished the Hunger Games.
Well, she was only in the first one because, spoilers, she didn't make it.
Well, at least I seen the first one. I thought she looked familiar. You know, but I wasn't. Okay, so now that makes sense. So, yeah, they had a very attractive young chocolate girl.
Chocolate, huh?
Well, she may have been a little bit more cream.
Oh, good Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
Help us, God.
But no, the T.H.U.G. is directed by Tillerson, I think is his name. And I wanted to see it because it was the first time in a while that we've had a African American movie debut in the theater that wasn't like superhero related or Tyler Perry.
Just cheap comedy.
Yeah.
Cheap trope comedy is what I'll call it.
Cheap. Right. So we finally got that going on the screen, and so I was like, let's go ahead and support it. Let's go ahead and go out, show the actors some love, show the director some love, so that we could get more movies like this. But yeah, I saw that. Yeah, to answer your question.
Based on a book.
Oh, it was based on a book. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Black woman writer.
The black woman wrote the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was a take on her actual experience. That's what she wrote the book on, is basically her experience. So she lived a good percentage of what was portrayed in the book and the movie.
Oh, really now? I did not know that. You did your research.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little research. So, you know, you haven't seen it yet.
No, I have not.
You haven't seen it yet. So we're going to work on that, y'all. We're going to make sure that we both seen it by the time we come to do these videos so that we could give you a full...
Side to side.
Full contrast of what you may want to go see in theater. I was trying to get us some music from the game, but it just ain't working.
That's not big. So what kind of things did you like in this movie? What spoke to you? What did this movie bring out of you?
Well, first of all, it brought me out to go to the theater, and
that's hard to do,
right? And then second of all, it was really just about, again, getting a new black director, supporting his efforts, supporting the actors and the actresses, and it wasn't filth. You know, it wasn't like, you know, a man running around dressed up as a woman, cutting couches in half and shit like that. So that's what motivated me to go see it, or that was your question, right?
Yeah, to the most part. But then I know that this movie was definitely from the trailers highly, we'll say, racially filled with motivation behind it because of what the lead had to go through. So, how do you feel they tackled that aspect, being a black man in really a predominantly white area at this exact point in time as well? So, do you feel that sometimes you have to be a certain way around certain people of color and a way around, I guess, your kinfolk? We'll say kinfolk.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that. That's actually what they portray as the subject of the movie with the previews. Make sure you go watch that preview and definitely go check the movie out. But that's exactly what the previews portray. They say that, you know, as a black person in a predominantly white area, that you are beckoned to act a certain way because they already have all these stereotypes to define you and define who you are, what you represent. So when you do get around a predominantly white area, you might change the way you speak, or you may not interact with those people in the same manner. And the movie does have a great portion focus on those aspects of life. And to answer your question, as a black man being in that situation right now, you know, that's an interesting topic, an interesting subject, because, you know, I just wasn't prepared to go that deep, y'all. I just wasn't prepared to go that deep. So, you know, honestly, some things I think as black people we need to just be prepared to let go of. You know, we don't all need to have gold teeth in order to represent our blackness. We don't all need to have like rope iced out chains in order to be black and accomplished and, you know, a representation of your people in the culture. You know, you don't have to do all of that. So for me personally, I don't do the back and forth. You know, I'm just cutthroat pretty much wherever I go. But at the same time, I mean, you don't really hear me using a lot of slurs and or slang or just ebonics when I speak. So, I mean, I can, but maybe I've just outgrown that. You get what I'm saying? And to answer your question, no, I don't feel like I switch back and forth because I don't really cater to the stereotypes that the white people may try to box me in, nor do I allow the black folk to stereotype me or put me in a box that they want to define me in. I feel confident enough in myself as a proud black person to really just kind of know that I'm black.
Just be you.
Just be me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Know that I'm black and then just deal with it.
So, out of the roles in this movie, how did people act? I would say, how did they portray the roles, each actor, actress in this movie? How did they do with the subject matter and situational? Were they believable in their roles? I mean, like, rate this movie. Give me a review. What you thought about it? How was it long?
No, I really like that question. Absolutely, 100%. Go see this movie. My most favorite thing about this movie, and it just really stirred my heart. It really just kind of did something all up in here. Was the positive portrayal of a grown black man who was involved in his kid's life and was a beacon, you know, a beacon of hope, a beacon of light throughout the entire movie. And small spoiler alert, no, they didn't have to kill off the black man because he was good and he was fighting for his family. Finally, a movie that didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And so they started out this brother strong, and he finished strong. It wasn't one of those movies to where they got to tear down the good person or they got to murder off the good person to stir the main character up. It wasn't any of that. He was just there. He was supportive. He was a beacon of light, and he lifted his family up and through some hard times. And I think just for that reason alone, you should go see the movie, just to see a positive black portrayal of an African American male. And he's got a good story too. He's got a good story. He hadn't been without his own troubles because he's a black man in the present. And they portrayed that. They said, well, what? How does a brother live once he gets caught in the system? Does a brother have a chance to actually be successful and be black? After maybe falling on hard times, whatever the story may be. And for that reason alone, just to see the positive father male figure in that movie, 100% go see this movie. I love the portrayal of the father in that movie, and I was happy to get my money away. And it wasn't even to get my money away. It was just good entertainment.
So, one of the big things how big blockbusters really make their money is word of mouth and subsequent viewings. Would you go see it again? Because I still need to see it. And two, how many people would you really tell that you need to go see this movie? And would you tell other races, or would you try and keep it just in the black community that they need to see it?
If you go see it, I would go see it again with you. I don't have no qualms with that. That's number one. Two, would I recommend other races to go see it? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because there's a portrayal of white people in the movie as well. And not to go too deep into it, but it does bring out some subjects where the white people may be insensitive to how they could be racial towards someone and how something could be misinterpreted easily because you're trying to get close to a black person or relate to a black person, but then it turns into something totally different.
Okay. So, yeah. And my aspect, I was kind of backwards in the way that the movie sets it up because me personally, I grew up around white people. I basically feel very comfortable around white people.
I grew up around blacks. Well, actually, I was mixed.
Mainly, so, my neighbors, everybody else around me, school, predominantly white area. I've been called the N-word many a times because that was the 80s when I was growing up. So, I've been on the good side of white people and the bad side. So,
I've been spit on by a white person before.
Kick somebody dead in their chest or something like that. But that's a whole nother story that not the point that I was trying to get. But one of the things was, for me, as I had trouble relating to black people when I was younger, because black people always tried to, be thuggish, talk all ebonics, gangsterish,
sagging.
And I speak proper, as you can hear me speak at this exact moment. And so the one thing that I would always get is, man, you talk white. And I'm like, what the hell does that supposed to mean? I was like, all I'm doing is speaking English the way that I was taught. So that's just one thing. So after a while, to stop hearing that, I would try and act, I guess you could say, my stereotypical version of what I thought black people were when I was younger, just so I could kind of fit in and not hear that kind of rhetoric coming from black people. So it's kind of funny that I'm flipped on the other side of it when I was growing up, but now I'm at the point, and for a very long time I've been at the point where I flat out just don't care. I'm gonna be me, and me is pretty strange. You'll find that out. But as I'm gonna close this video, what would you rate it as an Oscar status, and what would you rate it as your entertainment value? And should people see this movie?
Yeah, people should definitely see the movie. I didn't really find it entertaining, but I definitely found it captivating, and the story is definitely drawing, right? Because, like you pointed out, it's almost like a biopic, so it's really someone telling a story, and you get to visualize it while they're telling their story. But entertain is kind of like a word that I would think about, with Marvel movies or something like that, but not a film like this. I think it was definitely insightful. Um, they touched on a lot of subjects that people are really afraid to talk about. And while the other races should go see it, there were a lot. We were in a mixed crowd, and there were a lot of that's right going on when we went to go see it.
Lord Jesus.
So I'm just preparing it as a white person or an Anglo-Saxon. If you do go see it, be prepared that you might get that type of reaction. And we went to see it pretty early in the day too. So yeah.
People out early. Well, so that's funny. And so one more thing I'm going to touch on before we close this one out. And the trailer, not trailer, but the poster art, the way that they have the hate you give, as you look down, it spells thug. Does that mean anything to you as in watching the movie or anything like that? Did they touch on that aspect? Because they didn't spell you give with a Y-O-U. They just put a U, so the little thing spells thug going down. Does that mean anything to you, or did anything touch on it in the movie?
Yeah. I thought you said you was closing this video out.
I did. It's something else. Just I don't know. I did some research and looking around. One of the first times we ever did it before video. But anyway,
how about this? I'll say that they did that intentionally, and it was a direct call out to Tupac, the rapper Tupac Shakur, and as a Tupac, probably the biggest Tupac fan that any of my friends know. They did that intentionally, and it was a direct shout out. As many people know, Tupac represented thug life, and in a state of desperation, in my opinion, he said that thug life stood for the hate you give little infants, F's everybody. So they did that very intentionally, and that's why the movie is named The Hate You Give. And the last thing I'll say before I close out the video is there is a very strong presence of Tupac throughout the movie. They make a lot there. They play his music in the movie. The director is clearly a Tupac fan, and he showed Tupac a lot of love in that movie. So that's a small spoiler alert. I'm trying not to get too deep into it for y'all,
that's because Tupac's still alive. He was recording in the studio as he was making the movie. That
being said, if you like what you saw here, hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all for watching. Cutthroat.
Holy War 007 with Black Image Entertainment.
Yeah.